Welcome everybody to live show number 9. Before I forget, I'd like to thank the moderators for keeping the chat civil, the sponsors for sending interesting products, and you for showing up. As well, don't forget to check out the current giveaway, and you'll find that at the top right-hand corner of 3dgameman.com. So if you haven't already entered in the current giveaway, I would recommend doing so, because it's a couple of NZAD XT products, and you never know, you might just win one of these products. And they include the NZAD XT Vulcan case and the NZAD XT Sentry LXE fan controller, which is just simply insane. And let me just link you, for those of you in chat, to those particular products. I'll pique your interest first, and then I will send you the link to the giveaway itself. So those are the two products, and by the way, if you're not in chat, get in chat. And this is the link to the giveaway. So there you have it. And also, I have two cameras for recording this event. One is for the live stream, and that is the HD web camera, which I'm looking into right now. Which, by the way, now I moved very close to the HD camcorder, which I'm looking into now. So if you're looking at this recorded copy on YouTube later on, and I'm looking into this camera over here, and you're wondering, well, why isn't he looking here? Well, it's because I'm using this particular camera, which is the web camera for the live broadcast, and this one for the HD copy that goes on YouTube in all of its 720p glory. Okay, let's get on with it. We have three main segments here for this particular show. It's me answering selected questions from my Rodney Reynolds forum on rodneyreynolds.com, taking questions about this week's videos, and finally, usually it's a mystery product, but I am not going to do a mystery product this particular show. Instead, I'm going to talk about something entirely different, and I will talk about that and surprise you at the end of the show. Now, first, I would like to create a poll and ask you where you're from. North America or overseas? Do this like every show so everyone can introduce themselves. And by the way, we have currently 130 viewers. I know some people from overseas find it, fairly difficult to get, to stay up really for this show, because it can be very, very late, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So certainly thank you if you are up right now. It's very late in the morning where you are. There's a lot of people watching this event from overseas. It's very surprising. It seems like every single week there's even more. I'm not surprised that North America, there's more people in North America viewing and watching my videos and visiting my website and so on and so forth. Yeah, it is. It's about 50-50, which is actually a little surprising, but that's good. That's very good. Oh, and before I forget, I should just run away and get my handy timer, so you can just look at this without me in it for a while. Just 1 second. Here I am again. So each segment will be approximately 10 minutes. Minutes on the timer. Okay, let me have a peek here at some of this week's questions on the RodneyReynolds.com forum. The first question is about the radiator fan direction. What's your view on radiator fan direction? Well, you always really want to be able to intake cool air over the radiator. You don't want to be pulling in hot air or warm air over the radiator. So, if, for example, the radiator is at the back of the case, really, the fan should be pulling in air from the outside of the case, so it's pulling in cool air over the radiator. Now, that's an issue as well, because if you pull cool air from outside over the radiator, and the radiator is inside the case, and then, of course, it's going to be warm air once it exits the radiator, and then you're blowing warm air inside the case. So, you've got an issue there too. But if you have excellent case ventilation with lots of fans and so on and so forth, then that should not be a problem. So the best thing, and typically you should always orientate the fan on the radiator so there's cool air blowing over the radiator. And by the way, in some cases you can get like rad boxes and stuff if you're mounting a radiator on the back of the case, and all that does is it gives you like a space between the fan and the case itself, and that will give you that space in between, so the fan is, you know, not blowing that warm air inside of the case. It's blowing it, you know, between the spacing that that rad box provides. Now you can go to SwiftTech website, and they have a lot of cooling products, and that's one of their products. So if you're thinking about mounting the radiator outside of the case, then that's an excellent product for that. It will give you the best of both worlds, because you'll be able to cool down the radiator using the fan blowing cool air over the radiator, but not pushing you know, warm air inside of the case. Now this next question is about a GTX 460 overclock question. Let me quickly read this here. Okay, yes. This is about, doesn't necessarily have to be about a GTX 460. It could be about any kind of video cards when you are setting them up in a multiple video card configuration. So let's, for example, say that you have more than one video card. Let's just say you have, you know, 2 video cards. Usually what will happen if you don't have blower style fans on the coolers that intake cool air from, for example, from inside the case, suck in that air or blow it out, whichever direction. Then if you have a typical kind of traditional video card, let me just grab one here. Well, this is not really typical, but this is this a Palette GTS 450 video card. But what happens here is if you have a couple of these wedged together, then one of them is not going to be able to intake cool air as well as the other one. So one will be a lot warmer. You'll get higher, for example, temperatures on the core if you have, you know, multiple video cards like that. And that's why sometimes people are concerned, you know, about putting video cards in a multiple video card configuration, because one of them or more, if you have more video cards, you can have up to 4, of course. Some of them, because if they have traditional fans, will block, so to speak, the air from being intaked correctly. But again, if you have a blower style fan that pulls in cool air from outside the case, and that's not an issue because it's pulling in the air from outside the case, it's not trying to suck it, you know, from between the video card or video card. So that's what's happening here. You're jamming video cards together, and one or more of them, if you have more than just two in your system, one of them, if not more, could be giving you higher core temperatures, and of course memory as well, because it's wedged in that fashion. How to avoid this? Well, you could get an Antec spot cool fan and push air directly down. If your case doesn't have a panel fan, then you could maybe modify the case, the side panel, and direct air right into the video cards. This is why it's extremely important to have a case really that has a fan on the side panel, because it will push cool air directly on top of the video cards. This next question is about drives. Solid state drive RAID 0 setup versus Raptors, Western Digital, versus hard drives in a RAID 0 setup. Well, the fastest obviously in that scenario would be solid state drives in a RAID 0 setup. Next to that would be Western Digital Raptors, and next to that just plain old hard drives in a RAID 0 setup. But a RAID 0 setup is fantastic, especially for gaming, but don't use a RAID 0 setup for anything that's your sensitive data and things that you don't want to lose, because if one drive goes in a RAID 0 setup, well, you've lost the data. So don't use it in those kind of critical environments. Perfect for gaming though, and I've used the RAID 0 setup for years. But I haven't gone with a solid state drive RAID 0 setup yet on my main computer system. The main reason for that is capacity and space. And I mean, I'm not rich, so I can't afford to have ridiculously large solid state drives yet. So I'm going with, right now, the Western Digital 600 gigabyte, a couple of them in a RAID 0 setup. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. Okay, this is about overclocking a video card, but this applies really to anything. I guess some people think that since their friend Bob, who got a certain overclock on a video card, a motherboard, CPU, whatever, since they have the same hardware, then they should be getting the same overclock and the same results. Well, of course, that's not true, because overclocking is not definite. It's, if you buy the correct components, usually you'll get similar results, but not always. So don't think that you can buy the same stuff as your friend or whatever and think that you're going to get the same kind of results, because your friend might live in a cooler environment, they might have different cooling, they might have better case, or more case fans, and so on and so forth. So it really depends. It could be from a different batch, so you mightn't be able to overclock it as much. There's all kinds of factors, so many factors that it makes overclocking. While it usually you can get a good overclock from good components, it's not always guaranteed to get exactly the same as for example, your friend or somebody else who's saying that they got a certain kind of overclock. So don't be too concerned about that. What you need to do when you're overclocking is just usually push it bit by bit. And when it becomes unstable, then you've reached the limit, and then just back it off a bit. Overclocking takes a lot of patience and typically a fair amount of time to do so. Oh, and by the way, if you think that I'm speaking through my nose, I'm sounding kind of nasal, well, it's because I have a flu. But hey, I'm still here. I wasn't going to do this show, but I said, what the hey, I'd do it anyway. Okay, this next question is about temperature regulating software. So to sum it up, major questions: is 90 degrees C too hot? This is regarding GPU. Yes, that is pretty high. A few other questions here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you really should try and keep your video card temperature, you know, below 65 or 70. And now I know it can go up pretty high and, you know, not be too bad, but you really want to try to keep it below that. And certain types of software that you can use for monitoring is programs like RealTemp, SpeedFan, and even, for example, sometimes motherboards will come with some fantastic utility software that you can use. And also for overclocking your video card, you can use, even, you know, ATI's got one built right into the drivers, the Catalyst Control Center. You can also try the MSI Afterburner, which is fantastic. I use that one myself. So that's that for that particular question. We have one more question here. Oh, this is about flashing video cards. Flashing the BIOS, or BIOS, however you want to pronounce it, on a video card. Well, you can certainly do that, but in most cases, not all, but in most cases, it will void the warranty. Okay, let's go on to the second part of the show, but first let me just check in the chat and see if everything is okay. Okay, so let's go on to the second part of the show. And this part of the show is about this week's video reviews. And this week's video reviews includes the Silverstone Strider Plus 600 watt power supply and the very cool Lee & Lee PC C50 home theater PC case. So if you guys have any questions about these two products, please post them in the chat. And I will have a quick peek here in chat while I'm showing you these products, and if you have any questions, I will answer them for you. The first one I'll look at, though, is the very neat, completely modular Silverstone Strider Plus 600 watt power supply. It's very odd, you know, holding a power supply like this with nothing attached to it. It's like it's wireless, which in a way I guess it is. There's no cables attached. There's no wires. It's wireless. Not in the traditional sense of wireless, but there's no leads attached. It's completely and entirely, even the main motherboard leads, well, they're modular. Everything on this is entirely modular. Now the Strider Plus line of power supplies are still 80 plus bronze certified, which is fine. They do meet some of the 80 plus silver requirements actually under less load, but they do meet the bronze requirements. Now a lot of power supplies these days come out with usually 80 plus gold, and there's a new standard now that's coming out with the 80 plus platinum. Hey, the more efficient your power supply is, means that you won't consume as much power, so I'm all for that. It would be nice to see a power supply that would be like above 95% efficient at all loads. It's probably coming, but it's just simply amazing, even today, how efficient a lot of these new power supplies actually are. Anyone else have any more questions about this particular power supply before I move on to the case? Yes, this does have, Gerard mentioned 100% Japanese capacitors. That's important, of course, when you're looking for a power supply. I'll read the amps and the information here on the side. The plus 3.3 volt as well as the plus 5 volts, they're both 24 amps each, and a single plus 12 volt rail, which is very typical for a lot of Silverstone power supplies, and that's a good thing, is 42 amps. So the plus 12 volt rail is 42 amps. Yes, this Strider, Silverstone Strider Plus line of power supplies come in a few different wattages, 600 all the way up to 1000 watts. Let me just link you up here to my video review on this particular product so you can check it out. Yes, this only got a great rating. I mean, it is completely modular and so on and so forth. At least I think I gave it a great product, a great rating. I'll get it. Huh, I don't even see a rating over here. But yes, let's just see here. I forgot to rate it here on the page itself. The main reason is there's a lot of power supplies out today that are 80 plus gold certified, and this, after all, is a 600 watt power supply. This is not, you know, an 850 or 1000 watt power supply. So those are a couple of the reasons why, and it still is a pretty expensive power supply. So those are a few reasons why I did give it a great rating. Silverstone, of course, will have some new power supplies coming, but still an extremely great product, and very few power supplies still on the market that are completely and entirely modular, and this one is. Okay, so let's move on to the other product that I did this week. And this is the wonderful Lian Li PC C50 home theater PC case. So if you have any questions regarding this product, go right ahead and post them in chat. This, by the way, got a kick-ass rating. It's an exceptional product. Some of the reasons why I didn't give this a 100% kick-ass include you can't fit a standard ATX motherboard, form factor motherboard in this. There's, you know, no readout display or LCD on the front, and also this case is still fairly expensive. So that's some of the reasons why I actually gave this a kick-ass. Anyone else have any questions on this particular? The hard drive cages here, both for 3.5-inch hard drives and for 2.5-inch hard drives, are completely modular. Everything in this case is aluminum. You can see here that the cages are ventilated, all kinds of holes in them, so everything can be taken out of this. This is for a standard optical disc drive. Again, more 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch drives can be installed on this one as well. And this bar here in the middle, this can also be removed, so you have complete and entire access to the inside of the case. You know, desktop media center, home theater PC style cases have really gone out of fashion, haven't they, over the years? They used to be the thing and the way to go for, you know, just a regular kind of setup here, you know, for gaming systems and all the rest of it, but not anymore. For that, it's like tower systems. But this is a great case overall. I mean, even if you wanted to use this for a LAN party setup, because you can throw your monitor on top of it if you want to. It probably would be a little too high though. but you can always tilt the display down. I know I had some questions about this for you know, LAN party use and what kind of video card to fit in it. But you should be able to fit a video card up to 11 inches in length in this particular product, no problem whatsoever. But remember, this does not include, this cannot fit a standard ATX form factor motherboard. It only fits you know, micro, I think it's micro ITX, micro DTX, and no, sorry, mini ITX, mini DTX, and micro ATX motherboards in this one. And by the way, at the front you can use you can install 3 USB ports. You've got 3 USB ports here, an external serial ATA port, audio. You also got a card reader right here. This is quite nice, built right into the case, and the power and reset buttons, and again fitting a standard optical disc drive here in the front. That's nice because a lot of these cases, home theater PC cases and these desktop media stock cases, you can only fit slim optical disc drives, and that sometimes is limiting. So that's quite nice to see that as well. So any more questions here before I move on to the next part of the show? Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a removable motherboard tray. But, I mean, this is in essence a motherboard tray because it's a desktop style of a case. You know, when you've got all this stuff removed, I mean, this is really accessible. Oh, and let me scroll up here. Somebody asks, let me just... rubber feet. Yeah, it does have rubber feet. It has audio video style feet on the bottom. Quite nice. You can see these silver trim here. A beautiful case. I mean, this is just, look at this. This is a really nice looking product. It includes 2 120mm fans. On the right side, you can install another 120mm fan on the left side. Also, lots of ventilation here. On the back, on the bottom, and you know they include rubber here on the drives, for example, to show you this, to prevent vibrations. There's rubber here on the top to prevent the top panel from vibrating. Things like that. Rubber in the power supply on the bottom, the rest, so it doesn't vibrate. So things like that. I really love the Leanly products because it's they are very well crafted, but of course the downside to these products are they are extremely expensive. And yes, I do have pretty nasty flu, so I'm not 100% tonight, but I'm here. I made it. So there. Yeah, if I made mistakes tonight, it's probably because I'm not quite all there. I should be asleep right now, resting. Okay, the last part of the show, well, usually I show you a very interesting product. But tonight, well, it's something else. It is about t-shirts. And I'm going to create another poll here about t-shirts. And I'll also link to the one that's on the 3D Game Man website. I'm thinking about producing some t-shirts. I don't know what is going on with my phone here. It's I'm not getting an incoming call, but it's just going through the speaker system here. I don't know. Put the phone over there. Yeah, so anyway, the poll this week was about t-shirts. People were interested in getting t-shirts, so, or at least they said they were, so I created a poll to see how many were interested. And if you can believe the poll, a lot of people are actually interested. So I'll just link you up here to the poll so you can check that out. And if any of you out there are, you know, really good graphic designers and you think you have something that's really brilliant and you want to volunteer it to me, you know, Probably would have to be some statement of you doing that. But if you really think that you could do that, what I possibly might do is get people to design, or send me their best design, what they think, and maybe what I'll do is, if that person design is selected, maybe I would send them the T-shirt, that type of thing. So I'm not quite sure on that yet, so don't quote me on that, but that is something that I might possibly do. Now, I did do a few designs myself. They're pretty simple designs. So I actually printed these off. Now, I know some of you were very interested in about me. I say a lot of things sometimes, like, for example, a lot of things that I say every single time in every single video, or almost every single video. Some things I don't say anymore, like, for example, hello again, Rodney Reynolds, and welcome to another video review, blah blah blah. Some things I don't say anymore, but I used to say. And some people are saying have a shirt with that on. Some people are talking about removable motherboard trays, because I say that usually in almost every single case review. Until next time, take care. People are saying I talk like a robot because I talk very slow and clearly, so everybody on the planet who can speak somewhat English can understand what I am saying. Things like that. So I did a few designs on my own. Anyway, here goes. Here's a few of them. And by the way, before I show you them, I'll create a poll here. Are you interested? Let's see here. Let me go back to the poll on the site. And let me copy the same information off the poll on 3dgameman.com to here and see what you folks have to say. And be honest as well. If you don't want to purchase a shirt, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. It won't make me feel bad. See, look at that again. Again, be honest. Don't vote yes if you're not, really truly interested in throwing your money away. So, kind of the same kind of results that I got on 3dgameman.com in the poll that I did over there. Of course, there's almost close on 1,000 votes over there, but still, very similar. People are asking about shipping overseas. What would happen is I would more than likely get these shirts produced, and they would all be sent to me, and then I would send them out. Possibly that's what would happen. That's a fair amount of work for me, but if there is enough people interested, then it might be worth my time to do so. So I have to be very careful when I do this, because otherwise I'm just wasting money and time and so on and so forth. I know some of you overseas, and then you're not quite sure if I'm going to send it over there and so on and so forth. So, and I don't know either. Shipping policies and so on and so forth. In some other countries, well, they're poor, and sometimes things get lost, and then I have to deal with all that stuff and so on and so forth. It's just sometimes not worth my time to do that. Okay, so enough waiting. Did you want to see the few designs that I have? And by the way, these look a lot better when they're on a shirt. Yeah, that's the other issue. Payment for this. How am I going to accept payment? Not everybody has PayPal. So then again, see, so you go from, for example, I don't know how many percent. You go from 40%, this is the poll on 3dgameman.com, wanting t-shirts, down to maybe 10% or less, or 5%, or even less than that, who, if I don't ship overseas, I lose a lot of people, and and so on and so forth. So there are a number of factors involved with that, and payments. No PayPal. See, there's a lot of people don't accept PayPal, or don't have PayPal. So what do I do? Set up a mailbox and people can send me money in the mailbox, and so I don't know. If this is something that works out for me, and you folks are really interested in having a T-shirt, yeah, I could get a PO box and pay a minimal fee per month for that, and people could send me, cash and God knows what else. But checks and stuff, I mean, that stuff is a nightmare. So, like I said, this might be too much work, and maybe I won't do it after all. But I want to really feel this out a lot before I do it. The only type of payment that I can accept right now myself would be PayPal. Right now, unless I get a PO box and then people would send me cash and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Zazzle, I think Zazzle, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is probably one of the best sites for that. Would they work? Yeah, I would. I don't know. Yeah, I think Zazzle is better than the Catholic Press, but I don't know if Zazzle will actually handle every single individual T-shirt that's sent out. I don't know how that works. I know that you can order a batch and then get them sent at a discount to me. And okay, well, I have to check that out and see if they could do that, because that would be fantastic in a way. Because I could just do the designs and people would just, buy them as they pleased. Okay, so here just a few designs that I came up with. One of them being this one here, and that will be on the shirt. No removable motherboard tray equals fail. And on the back there would be the 3D Game Man logo, which would be the play symbol with the circle around it and 3D Game Man at the bottom. Yes, this design was, well, by me. And I want to kind of do them myself because it's me doing them, and there's no legal issues, and blah blah blah. The next one is this one. Look at this guy. And I was mentioning this to my wife, and she was saying, why don't you put something down here at the bottom? I don't know, what could I put down here at the bottom, do you think? This is just a few pictures of me, for example, just candid shots, just stopping mid-stream when I'm speaking. Kind of like weird, some of them are like odd. I'm looking, huh? Oh? Oh. So that's that one. Yes, it looks like from the poll on 3dgameman.com, they will be black. I'm going with black, I believe. There's 170 votes to 62 votes for black on 3dgameman.com, the poll. So black is definitely in. Yeah, what I would do is whichever one we go with, and I'll do a poll, I'm hoping maybe tomorrow or Monday, on which design that you prefer to go with out of these that I've listed, or none of them. Maybe you want to revisit, and I'll do something else. But I'll do a poll and see which one, or maybe none of them you like, and then we'll go from there. This is another one that I did. And again, these are designs that I've done by myself, just fairly quickly. A lot of people have accused me of speaking like a robot because I try and speak as clearly as possible. So this is kind of a parody of myself. And I don't know if you can read this here or not. Probably not. You see what it says? Yep. Robotic organic droid. I also did another shirt with just, I don't have it printed off, but just the body part of the shirt. So it would be ROD huge on the chest with robotic organic droid with the lines going across it and an outline of the chest. So that one look, actually, I kind of like the look of that one. So that's another one. So that will be a fourth design that I did come up with. But these are the three right now. I don't know if any of you like any of these, but you've got the no removable motherboard tray, which people, you know, they mentioned to me that they do love. The saying that I always say no removable motherboard tray, and some people can't understand why I actually like cases that have removable motherboard trays. But hey, there you go. You know, if you have a case with that a motherboard tray doesn't remove, it's failed. What a great looking case, by the way. Also the one with me, this is me, just candid shots of me on a t-shirt, and me as a robot. So those are three that I came up with, and I'll do a poll on that next week or tomorrow possibly. Now, the show is over, but there are a few things coming for the website, hopefully soon. There's a new widescreen theme coming to 3dgameman.com. Not quite sure when it's happening, but maybe soon. I don't know. Zach would know more about that, but my web guy. But hopefully soon, because from what I've seen of it so far, it looks really cool. He says soon. Well, that will make everyone happy, including myself, because what I've seen of it so far, it looks really sweet. It's a black kind of theme. Looks, you know, you can fit so much stuff on a widescreen website. It is not even funny. And by the way, a mobile version of 3dgameman.com is coming as well. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that might happen a little while after. First, get the widescreen going. Also, we're going to try and incorporate a chat system within 3dgameman.com. So we can attract people to the site and get them involved with the site. Also, the chat will hopefully be integrated within the forums. So we'll, you know, encourage people to get into the forums, get active, become a part of the community. And this is what all this live broadcasts are all about, getting people interested and into 3dgameman.com, you know, the tech community, the people that we have, and so on and so forth. Yeah, me and Zach have actually talked about that, about some kind of an Android application, which would be, I mean, that would be brilliant. But, I mean, you know, when is everyone going to find time for all this stuff? Okay, so almost to sum things up here, the last thing I wanted to mention is next week I will be video reviewing a brand new product from Antec. I won't say what it is because I'm under an NDA or non-disclosure agreement, so I can't tell you what it is, but if you Google it, I'm sure you can find something about it. Cool product, I must say. I'm hoping to have it up on next Tuesday, so that's something you can look forward to. A brand new Intech product, baby. People were mentioning, going back to the t-shirts, about having something with green fire on it. You know, green fire is a new thing, so maybe that'll become a cult thing, who knows. But as of now, green fire, well, maybe I can do a t-shirt with green fire on it, with me, you know, smoking an electronic cigar. And maybe, who knows, maybe people will go for that. I don't know, but I could do that, I guess. Okay, well, I'm going to end this live show. Live show number 9. Hopefully there'll be a lot more. If I can do it, I'll be doing one a week, and I'm possibly thinking about doing more. Who knows? Maybe one every day. No, I can't do that, can I? Not yet. But I know a lot of people love these live shows. Tonight, unfortunately, we did not hit 200 viewers, which is too bad. But maybe next week we can get more. And remember to spread the news about this live show, because the more people I get, the more encouragement that I get to continue to do these. You know, if I'm getting less than 100 viewers every single time, well, you know, I know it sounds mean, but it's kind of pointless for me to spend time and effort to do this. So there you have it. Okay, thanks for tuning in, and this ends the live show. Bye for now.